Hey everybody, what do you get when you combine a Las Vegas legend with the Las Vegas Legacy? We are going to find out today on today's episode of the Cougar-licious Clubhouse. Take it away.
Cougar-licious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, Cougar-licious, watch me take my stand, moving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cougar-licious Clubhouse. I am so excited today. My guest today is the Meyer Lansky. Yes, Meyer Lansky, who is the legacy of one of our founding fathers here in Las Vegas, Meyer Lansky. And we're going to be talking all about his book, The Lansky Legacy, okay? It's just coming out this summer. It's going to be a great summer read. Wait till you find out. It's just fantastic. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome you, Meyer.
Well, thank you. It's great
Yes.
to be here,
Oh,
Donna.
my God. Yes. I mean, you are a legacy.
Well,
Just-
yeah,
you're-
it feels like it now with the book out. That's
Yes,
for sure.
it does. You've been working on this for a while.
A couple of years, two and a half years.
Yeah.
And
And,
took a lot to get there.
and you're here in Las Vegas.
I live here in Las Vegas, actually. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and right where my grandfather and Ben Siegel, the famous Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, built the original Flamingo Hotel.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
yes.
And that's where it all began.
That's where it all
Yeah.
began. The change in Vegas started right about that time that he built that hotel. Everything
Well, it
went
was right
different
after
direction.
Prohibition.
Well, Prohibition was in 33. He was out here in 1945, right after the end of the war.
The end of World
they
War
started
II.
building. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of talk about what happened with Ben, how much he went over cost and things like that. But the biggest thing he did, I mean, he didn't live to see it, unfortunately, but he brought Vegas into the modern day with a sophisticated hotel.
Now, he was partners with your grandfather?
Yeah, he had quite
Yeah.
a few. There was about 5 or 6 partners. That I don't know her name really. There's some of the guys, you know, but my grandfather was probably the biggest.
Yeah, and I think, and again, like I said, I've shared with you my background, being from the East Coast,
Right.
being born in the 50s, was raised in neighborhoods that had the similar kind of like little ecosystem out in
Sure,
New York.
yeah.
And I mean, I am just absolutely amazed at the accomplishments of your grandfather, knowing very humble beginnings, right? I mean, he was an immigrant.
Sure,
that
he's an immigrant. 1911, he came to the United States in New York City, and
Right. That's
you know, then he met. You know, he was in the Jewish section, the Lower East Side, and he had the Italians and the Irish that border his area. But yeah, little 5'4", 125-pound guy.
but
And
amazing,
amazing.
amazing intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I shared with you. It's just like the power of his intelligence,
Right.
To be able to understand. I mean, he was just. I mean, by today's standards, you know, I mean, he probably would be involved with the whole AI movement and everything at this point.
Can't
You know,
imagine what
he had that
about
kind of
today.
mind.
Yeah, he did. And he was
knew.
born that way. It's not something you learn. You're born that way.
Exactly. You were born that way. It's like
Yeah.
a born genius.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
And just being raised in that environment and to be able to rise to the level. And of course, you know, Prohibition was there, and I think that's what really kind of helped spur the.
That was the big. That's
Right.
where they made all their big money.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
13 years, when the government decided that Prohibition was installed, and it wasn't real popular with the public. It was
No.
more of a women's movement. temperance
Exactly,
movement.
yeah.
Nevertheless, they ran with it for 13 years. till
Well,
1933.
it was supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and
It's a
demand.
basic marketing fundamental,
Right.
supply and demand. You
Right.
know, they were just keeping it from the public, and they were supplying it.
They were supplying it. It was very dangerous times. A lot of people were killed, and you know there was a lot of fighting going on. All of a sudden, they had big money, not your small time things they had before that Prohibition. And boy, they were, you know, hijacking each other and all this. And then when he met Lucky Luciano, not too long after that, they decided to get together, and they had a conference in Atlantic City. They said, we got to stop killing each other, fighting each other. Police are going to start turning their backs on us. Public's turning their back.
Right.
And they all worked together.
Right. And you organized.
They organized.
Right.
And everybody got along. And boy, it worked really well.
Right. And your grandfather was like a founding member. He kind of spearheaded a lot of that.
Right, right. Now,
Yeah.
people ask about, he wasn't Italian, so he couldn't. The traditions were kind of bent at that point, because when Luciano did, he kind of remade the American mafia, the commission, they called it. Nobody was one boss like it used to be.
Right.
And he was, right under him, basically. There was no structure that much anymore.
Yeah,
It's
right.
who was capable was up there. That was
Right.
it,
You had the Italian mob that came in. They
Yeah.
had their tried, true, and traditions. But as the multicultural
Yeah.
immigration, and it's interesting that you said he lived in the Jewish section, the Italian section, and that's how the neighborhoods were basically
Right.
sparred out. But it really wasn't by design. It's just that immigrants stayed with their own kind as they came
Exactly,
to the United States. The Italians understood Italians, the Germans, and that's another thing, by the way, in your book about your grandfather. It wasn't just prohibition and all of that. He was very instrumental in helping out during World War II with the German, because they had U-boats.
Yeah,
off
there
of,
was U-boats off the
East Coast.
the East Coast, up and down the seaboard, mostly in New York. And the Naval Intelligence came to him one day and said, "Hey, we need some help." This became a covert operation, because now they're working with the mob. I can't imagine what the citizens would have thought if they found that out.
I don't think it was
right?
headlines, right?
Yeah, Luciano was already in prison. He was up in Denimore, up in way up by Canada, and somebody said, "Well, you have to talk to this one person. I think I can help you, right?" And they talked to my grandfather. My grandfather said, "I'll have to talk to, Charles Luciano, who's in prison." They made some deals, and what they did is they ran the docks, they ran the unions.
They had
longshoremen,
influence
right?
with the
You had
unions,
guys
yes.
like Albert Anastasia and his brother Tony down there, tough guys. And they said, "What we'll do is we'll watch anybody we don't know, and they come in, we'll out them." They didn't kill anybody; they just outed them, to the FBI, and they arrested them. Yeah.
So that's for your grandfather and for his duty in World War II.
That's right. He was a patriot.
Absolutely.
And that's another
yeah.
thing. A lot of these guys were, my grandfather explained to the Italians, he said, "You need to do this for this country we're in, this country, our country." They were patriotic. Some of them were in the military. Plus, they had their own army, right? So, that's the basis he went on.
You have to show your allegiance to this country. Well,
so.
of course, and during that time, it really was a land of opportunity. They were recruiting because they needed the cheap labor. On the
Exactly.
East Coast, that's where all the industrial factories were and everything. Because I think your grandfather was, a tool and die?
When he was very young.
Yeah.
He quit school, and, a lot of that was pretty normal then. He had a big family, and he went to
Right.
work at a cousin's, Lansky's Tool and Die, and he was extremely good at mechanics.
Right, right.
And that's the nice thing about the book. You read a lot of mob books, and they don't talk about, what the whole person was like. I got to be around him for 26 years.
That is what fascinates
Right.
me.
And not only him, but I got to meet the guys now that I look back at 68 that, were featured in the movie, in the Boardwalk Empire, The Godfather,
That was
those
a great
guys.
series,
I mean, they
great
were something
series.
else.
Now but you weren't raised on the East Coast.
No, I was raised in Tacoma, Washington. My dad was in the military,
Uh-huh.
right below Seattle, Pacific Northwest. A place you would never think or has nothing to do with the mafia.
Well,
I
I think that was the point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe so. Well, for me, it was, people, what?
Exactly. Because your
it was kind of a
grandfather was
shocker.
still pretty active.
Oh, yeah.
During
yeah.
those
He
days.
was in his 70s at that time, early. Not much older than me at this point. He would come out to the Northwest. He loved it out there. He thought it was beautiful. My dad worked for Boeing. He was an engineer. His favorite son, he was a graduate of West Point and civil engineer for years and captain in the Air
So
Force.
you come from a long line of brainiacs.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
How are your math skills?
Not too good. I don't want to go there. It's a little different for me. It wasn't an inherited gene, let me tell you. But that's okay.
But I mean, it had to have been a very, and you have letters. I mean, I was reading some of your grandfather's letters
Right.
in here that he wrote to your father.
My father, right?
He
He confided in my dad more than now. My Uncle Buddy was a very smart man, very jolly, had a lot of friends, but he had cerebral palsy at a time when there wasn't a lot of knowledge about that. You know, he was older than him, and great guy. My grandpa loved him. My aunt, not so. She was kind of a spoiled lady, but my daddy really put a lot of confidence into. And as my dad, you know, grew and as a man with his family and all, he would confide in him. That's where those letters came from. He would say, "Oh, I'm really having a hard time in Cuba," and you know, these are all in there. Nobody's ever really seen those before.
And that's another fascinating aspect of what the opportunities at the time before the revolution, before Castro took over. There was a lot of opportunity, and it is discussed in The Godfather. That's one of the things, right?
Godfather
the opportunities, how they know how to do business, or they know how to. And so your father was, your grandfather was one of the people who built a hotel there.
Yes,
right?
he did. He built a hotel called the Havana Riviera, and it's still there to this day. It's
Really?
in disrepair, but in fact, I feel bad. The last time I know people in Cuba and in Miami, Cuban people, and they told me they had this beautiful, not a diving board, but it was a platform board out of sky blue. There was 3 tiers, and it crumbled, and it's just sitting there today, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. Things might change in Cuba finally. So
Yeah, well, we'll see.
we'll see. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll get a laugh out of that one.
Yeah, there you go.
So you came to Vegas, and when did you? I mean, you came to Vegas, and you started. Did you start a restaurant here, or was the restaurant already here?
No, we came down to Las Vegas, my wife and I, from Lake Tahoe, 2000. We've been here 9 years almost now, okay, this time. Now, over the last 35 years, I've lived here a few times for a couple years at a time, but now we're here permanently. About a year in, once COVID started, that's about when this happened, they called us from Caesars, and they said, "Hey, we want to do a restaurant, but we need your permission to use your name because it's going to be called Bugsy and Meyer Steakhouse, Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky." And we went down, we made a deal with them, and you know, we had some merchandise and appearances and made a nice little deal with them, and we've been going strong for about 6 years. I'm down there quite a bit. It's a beautiful restaurant. You know, just decorated back in the 50s, that time period. I'll go in and you know, some people will have high rollers, will have a birthday party, or they'll go to the Mob Museum, and then they'll come back and have dinner, and they'll bring me in to talk about what they saw and answer personal questions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it works out real well.
So you also have theme parties, too, that you can have there, isn't there? Or like if somebody wants to get married and have a...
I do weddings,
mob,
yes.
yeah?
I've done weddings for about 5 years now. We used to call it Vegas mob weddings, but pretty much, and, you know, I go into the count room, which is the bar, basically.
The count room. Can
yeah,
you
they call it
explain what the count room is?
Well, the count room is just, I can't call it a speakeasy because it's not the 1920s, but it's a mid-century, you might say, speakeasy. It looks exactly like, you know, it would if you were to see the Rat Pack in those days,
Right.
mid-century.
Right.
Very nice, dark, good music, everything, big room in there. And
I'm going to have to come
Yeah, you're
down
gonna have to
and
come
check
and see
this
that.
out.
So I do weddings right there, and you know, people love it, and most of them are fans of the mob. A lot of them from the East Coast, but you know, all over.
Well, yes, you do have the diehard East Coast. Yeah.
And we'll take a lot
People
of
that
pictures,
just-
and some of them will dress in theme. They'll wear pinstripes, and their to-be wife will have on a like a flapper type thing. It's great. I love it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So that's
Well, it's great, and the thing is like I said, I think your book is a wonderful insight and tribute, you know, to your grandfather,
Right.
and like you said, not just the fact that he was, you know, associated or affiliated with the mob and was a founding father,
Right.
but he was a human being, and
Yes,
he
he
had
was, yeah.
children, and he had interests, and he had a little dog too, right?
Yes, he did. Bruiser.
Yes, a
And
little
actually,
dog Bruiser's
that
right here.
picture was taken by the FBI. Thank you. Years ago, I think back in the 70s, when he was walking his dog,
that
and
nice?
he's turning that
Oh
way.
yes, I remember my grandfather was being filmed by the FBI. Yes.
And I would go back every year up to about, with my parents normally until I was about 13, 14 the first time. And we'd walk on the beach, and, you know, we'd talk and go to lunch. Then we'd go down to this place called the Singapore Hotel on Miami Beach. And I'd see all these guys. at 11, 12 years old, and there they are, and then I'd go home and I'd read about them early on. I'd start thinking, oh my God, okay, so
Who are these people?
Jimmy Blue Eyes, Phil Koblich, all these men that were prohibition mobsters, basically, and now they're in their 70s. Hey, Maya, how you doing? We go out by the pool, they'd be playing baccarat,
Right, regular,
yeah,
just
cards,
regular. Well, that's what I mean.
lunch,
It's almost like an epiphany. I mean, you're being raised in this system, and then you start realizing who they are.
Right,
and
right.
I'm sure there was certain moments in your life where you went, what? Weren't you saying something about your babysitter at one point?
I had a babysitter named Phil Koblich. He was a prohibition mobster back in the day. He used to help my grandfather on a, more of a mid-range guy, but a very nice guy. And when my parents and I would go back to Florida once a year, my aunt and uncle and my parents would get together and go have dinner and drinks. And I'd go out by the pool with Phil, and he would sit out there with a big Panama hat on, his cigar, make sure I was okay swimming because I love to swim.
So you were you were babysat by a maid guy.
By a maid guy, and he taught me how to go fish, and if he would have lived a little longer, he would have taught me how to play poker probably. But anyway, and people would come out to talk to him, and I would just kind of look over and not make much of it, and I guess innately you just know not to ask questions, and I did that real early on.
You don't ask questions that you're not going to get an answer to. Yeah,
it was totally opposite of where I grew up. I mean, everybody's wide open book in the Northwest and normal, and you get back east, and don't worry about it.
It's like I say in my act. I found a website. The Mothers and Fathers Italian Association.
Yeah.
And I sent in my DNA, and I got a note back. Who wants to know? Because it's that kind of vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, listen, we're going to take a quick moment here. We're going to go to a little commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to go through a little bit of memory lane. With you. Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Cougar-licious, come and take my hand.
Hi, I'm Donna Joy, and ladies, I'm here to shake you up. Welcome to Cougar-licious, a community where women stand in their own power, celebrate their divine diva, and enjoy a little eye candy. So whether you're married, single, or however you identify, this is about you being your true, authentic self. Our message goes to 35 to 65-year-old women and beyond, and this is your space, your time, and we support you all the way. Join our community, sign up for our newsletter, and get a free download from my book, Too Short to Be a Showgirl, plus exclusive discounts to our online store. Subscribe free to our YouTube channel, The Cougar-licious Clubhouse, for weekly episodes featuring inspiring women with a playful twist. And book me for your next event, or join us live at our Cougar-licious comedy brunches. So what are you waiting for? Go to our website, www.cougarlicious.com. Your time begins now. And remember, stay Cougar-licious.
Cougar-licious, come and take my hand.
That's right. Stay Cougar-licious, ladies. Just remember that. Okay. Well, we are back with Meyer Lansky. And as promised, we're going to go through a little bit of photos. And we're going to go a little bit through some memory lanes. And Meyer's going to kind of narrate us through this. So whenever you get a chance, you bring up our first shot. Okay.
This picture was taken by the Chicago PD back in 1932. When Al Capone went to prison, they had to send him off to jail. So, because after the Valentine's Day massacre, basically, things were upside down. So they went to my grandfather, Lucky Luciano. You got Paul Ricca and John Cena on the far left. They all went to the hotel, and Luciano got on the phone. He was talking for hours, and in the next room was the police and the FBI because they knew they were there.
Oh, wow.
So they lined them all up after they left the hotel that afternoon, and they couldn't arrest them because there was no reason to, but they wanted them to know that we know you're here. And why are you here? And so they tried to humiliate them, basically, empty their pockets, line
It didn't look like it worked very
Didn't
well.
work too well.
No, it didn't. They were pretty confident guys. And, of course, your grandfather is the guy in the middle.
In the middle,
right,
the
short
shortest
guy.
one. You got, on each side you have...
But boy, like I
what
said,
a
a magnificent brain. Okay, next. And that's the interior, I think, of the original Flamingo.
That's the interior of the original
Yeah.
Flamingo Hotel, probably
Okay.
around 1947.
Couple of slot machines and some
couple of
card
slot
tables,
machines,
and there
couple
you
of
go.
card tables. Yep, there you go.
Next.
And that's me. And somewhere here in Las Vegas that had a sign of the Flamingo. Every time I see a sign of something to do with the Flamingo, I usually try to get a picture with it.
Yeah, it's a great
I'm not
shot.
sure what that was exactly, but they're all over the city.
And next. Oh,
Yeah.
I love this shot.
This is a good shot. He's got his sunglasses on. There's an FBI guy taking a picture of him in Miami Beach, and that's his dog Bruiser.
There he is.
And he's having a cigarette, and he's still bugging him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's just cool as a
Cool it can
cucumber.
be.
That's
You
it.
just let him take the picture. He didn't care.
Next. And this is the interior of the hotel.
The Havana Riviera in Cuba. That's
Wow.
the picture of the pit and the craps table and all the gambling area
Wow.
at that
Yeah.
time. And
For everything.
classic. And just for a reminder, if people watch The Godfather Part 2, he was portrayed by Lee Strasberg as Hyman Roth.
Mm-hmm.
Up on the roof with his birthday cake, and a lot of people know that. So
Hyman Roth.
just reminded you. And yes,
Next.
that's me at the Flamingo Hotel out by the wedding chapel that I do weddings, and that's the statue and monument to Benjamin Bugsy Siegel.
Wow.
And it gives the history of what he started and what eventually happened and all that. So
And that's in the hotel?
that's outside by the
it's the
hotel,
outside.
out by the wedding chapel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's outdoors. Yeah.
Next.
That is me a while back in New York City, and that's Charles Lucky Luciano's gravesite.
That's his
His
tomb.
tomb, basically. Yeah, that's it. So I
Lucky.
got a picture of him, in front of that tomb. Yeah.
Okay, Lucky. Thank you, Lucky.
Thank you, Lucky. Yes.
Next.
And that's me in front of the gates at the
Wow.
Bugsy and Meyer Steakhouse. It's been
Wow.
open now about 6 years. So
That looks
Beautiful.
fabulous.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What a great idea they had to
Yeah.
do that. Well, it's a great, again, it's their founders,
They're
the Flamingo's
founders. I do
founders.
admire
It's just-
Caesars for doing that because, 20 years ago, I was there when they took down his suite above the wedding chapel, and it was a 2-story suite. And man, they used to let the high rollers sleep in it. And we went in there, and I got to see the trap door. Did a video on this, and they had a trap door that went down through the closet. He had a lead wall.
Is that right?
Yeah, protected himself in case somebody wanted to blow him up. And all the furniture and everything was still there. And he had a bar made out of African blackwood, which I can't imagine what that cost back then.
Wow.
It's one of the most rarest woods in the world, and everything was first class.
Yeah,
And-
why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why
So,
not? Yeah, it looks beautiful.
it is, and I'm down there all the
This
time. I live here in Las Vegas, and like I say, do weddings, I give tours of the Bond Museum, and
That's great.
I'll come up and talk to you at the restaurant or bar anytime. So please come to all the locals
I
and all the
will.
people out of town, all the visitors. Yes,
Next. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the.
this is the side entrance to the speakeasy or the cow room bar. Back, and you can get in there a couple different ways. This comes in after hours. Instead of going to the restaurant, you just come right off the casino. There's a door, so it makes it a little more
Beautiful.
intimate and special. Right?
And that's a picture of your grandfather.
That's
there.
it right there, yeah.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
yeah.
Okay, next.
This is a group of people, for example, in one of the the dining rooms at Bugsy and Meyer Steakhouse that I took through the museum one day, the Mob Museum. And then we came back and had a big dinner, and they wanted me to come with them and talk about everything they saw at the museum. And I love doing that. I do it all the time. So, yeah, if you're interested and everybody want to know something, just get a hold of me.
Fantastic.
That's all you got to
Tell
do.
him Meyer sent you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think we have another. Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, this is an upcoming book.
This is an upcoming book in 2027, and it's about Bugsy and the Flamingo, basically what we just saw. I always like to call him the Elvis Presley of mobsters.
Yeah,
He is a
very
very
handsome.
infatuated man, and a lot of those stories are true. He did try to do it sizzle reel for a movie. He wanted to be in a movie. If you see these movies, some people say, "Oh, is that all artistic?" I say, "Not really. A lot of it's true."
Yeah, you can't make this stuff
He
up.
was a great-looking guy. He was dangerous. You know, women loved him, people loved him, passionate family man, everything all together. Just a mystique. It's hard to describe. I mean,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Well, like I said,
awesome
they're the
guy.
products of their environment.
Yeah.
They operated outside the lay of the law,
That's right.
and they almost had to for survival.
Certainly.
And it just kind of like culminates like that. And
Right.
yeah, I mean,
And they were the founders. They did a lot
Yeah.
here in Las Vegas, especially, Ben. And
Well, they were right. I mean,
Yeah.
they were looking to, again, a marketing thing.
Marketing thing.
Where is the supply and the demand? So
Right.
they knew there was a demand for gambling. They knew there was a demand for this type of entertainment, and so they were looking to develop the supply.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
Vegas was open territory.
Open territory
Right?
for everybody.
So it's
That's right.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect for them. Well, look at this. We are almost running out of time, Meyer.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
want
good.
to remind our viewers one more time. This comes out, the Lansky Legacy,
July 28th
July 28th. It's
Right.
available
on
on
BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.
Right.
Be sure you get this. This is a fantastic read. It gives you some wonderful insight, and I'm just so thrilled
Right.
that, again, like I said, I feel like I'm sitting here with royalty.
Well, thank you. I feel. And also, we've got a lot of pictures that have never been seen that anybody, and then the letters, of course, are a big thing.
The
too.
letters,
and the
yeah.
story, my
the
story.
letters of your grandfather
Yeah,
to his son.
That's
And
right.
I think it just makes for a full three-dimensional look
That's right.
at the man. At
Yes,
the
it
man.
does. Yes,
and
it
you
does.
are the legacy.
Oh, well, thank you.
So here,
Love being
that's for you, Meyer.
Oh, thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. I'm
Yeah.
so appreciative of you being here. Okay, before we go, I have to say thank you, first of all, to all of our sponsors that support the show. We have Linder Health Skincare, healthcare for your skin. We have Web and Funnel, which is a great web design and management company. Mom's Basement and Comedy Sports, fantastic community black box theater. Go Ledgerly, which is a terrific online tax consultants. We have Laurel Caprio out there in Arizona with Caldwell Banker. And of course, right here, our very own Balkan Bar and Grill, which is down by the Composer's Room. And they have it. So now, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor on the show, all you have to do, again, is go online to the website, go to the sponsors. I have several different packages there. You can sign up. You will be represented on the show, and I'd love to have you in as a guest, or maybe remote you in as a guest, and just talk a little bit more about what you do. So I think that's it. And don't forget out there to like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. And when you do, you'll always be up on the episodes, kind of like the one on today, okay? Because you don't want to miss this one. So without any further ado, Meyer, thank you once again
Thank
for
you
coming.
again, Donna.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll have to say bye for now.